Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Today is the second day of our all-beef hot dog review. Yesterday we tried Ballpark Franks. They started off pretty bad cold right out of the refrigerator. I found out very quickly that the Ballpark Franks aren't a hot dog to eat when they're cold. But once they were cooked in the air fryer for 8 minutes, they turned into a different animal. If you missed that video yesterday, I'll leave a link to the video in the description box. Who remembers this? The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. If you were a kid in the 70s and 80s, it was a pretty cool thing if you could see it in person. Whether you remember the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile or not, we're trying the 15-ounce pack of Oscar Mayer Classic Beef Original Uncured Beef Franks that cost $3.84. You know, one thing I do like about Oscar Mayer hot dogs, the cheap ones and the beef ones, is they all come in a resealable package. Why can't other hot dog manufacturers do the same? It's definitely much more convenient. Oscar Mayer beef hot dogs are made with 100% beef, and we discussed that yesterday. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's prime cuts of meat that you would normally eat. There's probably some parts in there that you wouldn't want to eat. I used the pig as an example yesterday because I didn't have any funny, witty things to say about a cow. In other words, hot dogs might have everything in them from the rooter to the tooter. So if you ever think your hot dog's looking at you, it just might be looking at you. Oscar Mayer hot dogs have no artificial preservatives, colors, or flavors. And they're made in the USA. And that's actually good to know because I'm not sure I would actually buy a refrigerated food product that wasn't made in the USA. The Council of Franks says to keep it Oscar. What the hell does that mean? There's so many ways to keep it Oscar, and I'm actually glad they mentioned that. I actually like Oscar Mayer bacon when it's on sale. When it's not on sale, I can't afford it. But I also tried their prepackaged roast beef a couple weeks ago, and I loved it. I wouldn't have normally bought something like that, but my deli sells crappy roast beef now. Here's the ingredient list. There's 10 hot dogs per package. Each hot dog has 140 calories, 13 grams of total fat, 5 grams of saturated fat, a half a gram of trans fat, 30 milligrams of cholesterol, 370 milligrams of sodium, 1 gram of carbohydrates, 1 gram of sugars, and 5 grams of protein. Here's 3 of our Oscar Mayer uncured all-beef hot dogs right out of the package. 2 of these are going into a 400-degree air fryer for 8 minutes. Here's the 1 hot dog right out of the package, and now the 2 cooked hot dogs. The hot dog in the middle had a mind of its own, and just rolled wherever it wanted to go. I put the other cooked hot dog into a bun, then I dressed it up the way I like it, with yellow mustard, relish, and onions. Sometimes I like my hot dogs with yellow mustard, sauerkraut, and onions. And of course a good chili dog with chili, cheese, and onions. Let me know in the comments how you like to dress up your hot dog. We tried the cold one right out of the fridge first. It had a nice snap when you bit into it, with a subtle smokiness and a good flavor. And just like the Ballpark Frank, the inside texture was mushy and it had that fattiness that stuck to the roof of your mouth. Even though this is only the second beef hot dog review, so far from the cheap hot dog review, I've noticed that the cold, cheap hot dogs taste better than the more expensive beef hot dogs. But like I said, we're only 2 hot dogs in, so we'll wait and see. Next, we tried the cooked all-beef Oscar Mayer hot dog. And just like the Ballpark beef hot dog, it's amazing what 8 minutes at 400 degrees can do. The snap got better, the texture of the inside firmed up, and when you bit into it, the subtle, smoky, savory, delicious juices flooded your mouth. Last but not least, we bit into the fully loaded dog. And just like the fully loaded ballpark Frank, the fully loaded Oscar Mayer hot dog was a delicious hot dog that you would have and thoroughly enjoy at a backyard barbecue. This is a hard one to score because I like the ballpark and the Oscar Mayer. Neither were good cold. Once they were cooked, the insides firmed up nicely. They both had a great snap when you bit into them. Both were extremely juicy and flavorful. The only difference was the flavor, and both flavors were good. Both hot dogs were good. The only difference I could tell was the flavor. And both the ballpark and the Oscar Mayer were reasonably priced. So I'm going to give the Oscar Mayer all beef uncured hot dogs a 7 out of 10. Stay tuned for tomorrow's third all beef hot dog review. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.